Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday. It is the big day. We have the severe potential in the forecast, and we're going to talk about that, of course, coming up here in just a bit. Looking outside right now, it's very warm. You can't see how warm it. Well, you can because it says 69 over 67 up top there, but it's cloudy. It's very humid, soupy. We're setting the table with the moisture and the instability, but will we have enough wind shear? Will we get enough thunderstorms to make this all happen? Actually, last night I posted, and it was very pessimistic about the severe threat. I think it came back a little bit overnight. It's not looking like some massive event that's going to come through because I think that low-level wind shear stays pretty weak. But we are going to at least see a good coverage of the rainfall. I think most of us see some rain. It's just not going to be enough for what we're looking for. So cloudy, traffic moving along just fine. Looks like no road raging going on, so that's good. Winds are from the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour, and you can see this is a very dynamic system. How do I know that? Well, we have rain and storms out ahead. We have the showers that are popping up toward Memphis, and on the backside in Amarillo, it's snowing. So we have a lot of cold air in the west and the northwest, and that's feeding into the backside of this. A lot of warmth and moisture coming up ahead of it. The issue for severe weather, again, is that lack of low-level wind shear. So you want southerly or southeasterly wind and then westerly wind aloft, and that's going to create a lot of wind shear. Right now we have this, but we have southwesterly winds at the surface, so that decreases the magnitude of that shear vector, if you can see that with my hands, and that's going to reduce the turning in the low levels, which is just fine. We don't want tornadoes anyway. We want some rainfall, and so the good news is it looks like we do have some of that. Going in closer now, just a couple of sprinkles out there, and we did see some rain move through yesterday. I was doing my thing out there, having fun way out in the middle of nowhere. If you saw my post, you saw that as well, out in Acme, Louisiana, with some good people and having some fun, good old country fun, just metal detecting and looking at trees and cats and stuff like that. Radar close up, though, just a spritz or two right now. Now, you're going to get to about 3 o'clock today and be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not doing anything. And that's what I'm saying. 3 to 10 is our main time. So that's when we're going to see these thunderstorms rolling through. Now, temperatures are warm area wide, from 68 to 74, so we are warm, we are humid, and the day planner shows that we, again, stay pretty much dry through 1 p.m., probably through 3, and then thunderstorms are going to start to pop up. I think 4 o'clock, it's not going to be storming everywhere there, and you'll see here when I go through Future Track that we're not going to be storming everywhere at one period in time, but we are going to see at least a couple of waves or a couple of threats for showers and storms to move through. Your temperatures. Now, this is going to tell a good part of the story as well. As we get highs close to 80, the thermodynamics, the instability, that's overachieving with this system. So we're seeing a lot of instability showing up because of that warmth and humidity. We're just not seeing the wind shear. That never really materialized, and hopefully it doesn't. But then you see the cold front come through, and then we're going to drop into the low 40s tonight. So from perhaps 80 for a high to 40 for a low, that is quite a swing. As I said, a very dynamic system here, with a big temperature change across this. Now, this is big part of the story here is the rain coming into the area, and you'll see that just a few scattered showers. Again, 3 o'clock is the time you look at your watch and you go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But then look what happens. We get thunderstorms to pop up. Now, if that were it, that wouldn't be a 90% coverage or anything, but you're seeing that there are actual thunderstorms forming, and this is on that main cold front here. Now, behind the front, we're actually going to get more rain as well, so that's why rain chances stay high, and you see as I put this into motion, that line of storms intensifies as it moves through, and then we get some showers behind it. In fact, these are slowing down a little bit on models. It's going to be out for any sort of Sunday plans you have, but it's going to, I left a 20% coverage in the early morning up till about 6 o'clock. You see those showers then sweep through, but most of us are going to see rainfall. We're just not going to see a ton of it. So most of us get rain. Again, here's your totals from maybe a tenth to maybe an inch. Maybe somebody ends up seeing that. I think the heavier totals are going to be out to our east, and even there, they are not going to be that impressive. And then here's your severe outlook. So this is the SPC outlook. This is when we talk about like level 1 of 5, level 2 of 5, marginal, slight, all that. So this is level 1 for the western half of the area and southern parts, and then a level 2 here from Alexandria, Winfield, and Ville Platte on to the northeast. So we have a slight risk there, and I'm going to break this down for you, how they're showing things, and how I agree with this setup here, and what they're saying is the threat that is mainly going to be coming into our forecast area. So let's first off start with the hail outlook. I think this is our lowest threat threat, even though we do have decent instability. Not a perfect setup for hail by any stretch, nothing like we saw in June, but there could be a few hail reports. This is showing about a 5% probability of hail an inch in diameter or greater, and that is 5% chance of that happening within 25 miles of a point. I just saw the sun pop out, distracted me. So yeah, we're gonna warm up nicely. Instability is gonna be no problem today. Severe wind outlook. This is your chance of seeing wind over 60, 58 miles per hour within 25 miles of a point. 15%. That's where that slight risk is kind of lining up. The slight risk is driven by the wind threat for today. So that's going to be our highest threat. But of course, the all-important tornado outlook showing a 2% chance of a tornado. We're not looking at anything like we're not looking for strong tornadoes today. The higher chances are going to be to our northeast, where instability is a little less, but they're going to see some more wind shear. So that is where the focus will be for that, even though it is not going to be an overly crazy tornado outbreak or anything like that. But, it only takes one, and we will be watching that 2% chance closely this afternoon and evening. So now on to the 7-day forecast, where we have a good chance for storms today. Don't worry, Sunday's not going to be rainy. That rain's going to be out of here very early, but I didn't want to have that at zero. I didn't want to have nothing in there, because I think we'll see some rain in the area through about 6 a.m. Beyond that, it looks great next week. This is going to be the week that if you've put off putting up your Christmas lights, as I have, I have to do that. We are going to be doing that probably Monday. 60 degrees with a frosty start. I'd get up there today, but who wants to put up Christmas lights when it's pushing 80? Plus, I have to look at all this weather stuff. Low 60s through most of the week. Lows from freezing or below starting Monday morning, and then we warm slowly into the low 40s by the end of the week. And I always like to pop myself back up here and say goodbye and all that, and we look at the extended range. I took the temperature forecast out. I don't think they're communicating it right. So I think it's going to stay cool, and we're going to stay fairly stormy. Now, notice we're getting into that December 17th to 23rd time frame. I unfortunately don't see any sort of long-range snow in the forecast. I am watching very closely. I am always obsessively looking at that. But for now, it just looks like we at least stay active enough to keep the ground fairly wet. I know we still need a ton of rain. Again, I was out there yesterday in Acme, and I saw how low the water is in so many of these places that typically have it. So yeah, I know we're still dealing with a lot of low water stuff, but for today, we get some rainfall and we get that severe threat. I'm going to be watching it. There's no real schedule on the updates today. I'll just update as needed, be that a text update or just jumping on live to say, hey, we've got this going on. So we will see you around here today. Me, Tom, whoever decides to pop on, who has access to the system, which I think is just me and Tom. And yeah, we'll just keep you informed on all this, and I guess I will see you later on. I really don't have a clean way to end this, so I'll just say goodbye.